Hello, welcome in everybody. This is personal mini readings and the directions are pinned in the comments or down in the description box, but I'm about to tell you the directions anyways. This is one of my favorites. This is where I answer your questions live. It's 10 a question, 15 for advice. One question, $10. So count the question marks when you send me. And when you do send me an email or payment, you can send through PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, Super Chat, anything you want. But make sure you have your handle name and your question. Clear question, right? When you send it in. If you do Super Chat, I cannot give you a refund. YouTube takes half. All right. But like I tell everybody all the time during these personal readings, it is not worth my credibility to keep your $10, your $15. I will always either refund you if you pay in other ways, but if you Super Chat, I will answer and you don't get your question answered, I will answer it in a follow-in Super Chat. I do it on Mondays and Fridays, and I'm always trying to work with you. So email me before you freak out, and just know that I will get you your question answered. If you do pay Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App, and you don't get a question answered somehow or another, I mean, I've been doing this for a long time, so I'm pretty good at catching it, but it happens. It happens. If I miss you, I will send you your money back, or I know a lot of you, because you come here all the time, I will put you first on the list for the next Super Chat. All right, so work with me because I'm working with you. I do my best in these readings to make sure that I give you my best. All right, I'm always trying to give you my best. I'm always working with the energies I have. I make a list. The list is up. And then as we get going, I cannot update the list as frequently. So you just got to kind of keep an eye on where I'm at and come back and check in. I'm never more than 2 to 2.5 hours. So you'll find your name in there. We'll let you know. I'll let you know. You'll hear me. But if you're here, I can get your energy and I can talk to you. If you're not here, I have to do with what I've got, right? And that's it. But if you're here, I can answer your questions. Just know if you pop in after I do your reading, I cannot go back to your reading. I shift. The thing about the live personal readings is I go from question to question. I go from person's energy to the next person's energy. And, sometimes I can remember your reading, but sometimes I just can't. And it interrupts. It takes away from the reading that I'm in. And I don't want to do that to you either. So I cannot stop and answer your questions. The other thing I ask, and this is really important, is be clear with your questions. Be very clear, because nobody makes a mistake. We know what we want to know. So when you ask your question, be clear. I answer it. There's no, I meant to say this. I meant to ask this. I meant, be fair with me. Just ask again, send a $10 Super Chat, ask your question again, but be very clear and specific what you want me to answer. Because when I'm doing your reading, I'm doing it as if you woke up this morning, you meditated, and you pulled your own cards, and this is what I'm getting for you, and I'm interpreting it through my lens. And you can also just see if the cards match any cards you've pulled for yourself. All right. So with that being said, hello, everybody that's coming in. I did just finish the all signs. It is up. I had fun with that one. We have a long weekend ahead, so I'm sure some of you have a lot of questions. I really do have a list already. I will post questions closed. You will see that question closed. And sometimes I put it up and I just slow it down. It's like putting on the brakes. But ask, if you see the sign up, it scrolls at the bottom, just ask me in chat if I have the mental capacity to answer your question. Because it's not so much about the time I'm on, it's about how long I can, at some point, my mind just goes mush, and I'm like, you're going to get what you get, and I do not want you to walk away from here being unhappy, but that's why I limit it to 2 hours, 2.5 at most. So just ask and say, I sent a payment, If I don't answer you or answer your question, like I said, I'll send your money back, unless of course it's super chat. But all right, hello everybody that's here. Let's see if there's anything I missed. I don't think I missed anything. Let's just, get going with the questions. It is a long weekend, so I also show up on Monday. But we have Labor Day on Monday. I'm not sure. I might switch it till Tuesday this week because it is a long weekend. But we'll see how that plays out. All right, let's go. No, why do I always do this? What am I doing? There we go. All right, so I do have my phone up. That's right here. So I can get to your question. And hello, Romy. Hello, Michelle. Hello, Milan. And Elizabeth. She's in Ireland, guys. She's bringing us some leprechaun energy. All right, Anne right here. She went over and visited. So we got some good old energy from the Irish. And we have Lisa here. And all right, so Mexican. So the current list is Fernando, Emma, Dicho, Mexican, Susan, Michelle, Milan, Coco, Gigi, Thelma, and Bia. All right, and I apologize for the shortenings of the names. It's just because I'm lazy. All right, let's go. Fernando. What cards do I want? Fernando. All right, so I had two people. So I have two Lisas here. Who just said? Lisa Colazzo just sent in, and I have. Oh, okay. Yes, I got you. Okay, you're the same Lisa. I got you. All right. And we got a Michelle here too. So let's add Michelle. And now I'm about to roll. So I promise you, I will, if I don't see you as I'm going, I will see you in the, once I get going, I follow the emails and I follow the super chats. So you'll be read in the order that I receive. All right. Fernando. All right. A general. So let's see. All right, so show me your current energy, what you're working with, what you're up against, and what's coming towards you. Page of Swords, overall energy, questions. Ask those questions. Ask them. If you're worried about anything right now, just write down the facts, right? Maybe breathe before you respond to anything. Question everything that comes your way if it's too good to be true. Or just make sure you're pausing before you respond to a text. But there could be some good news coming your way with the Page of Swords there. You got the Ace of Cups, right? So maybe there's a love offer, right? You've been feeling the love lately. You've been feeling somebody attracted to you. You've been wondering if somebody's attracted to you. You've been thinking about telling somebody how you feel. We got this energy portal of the Ace of Cups around you. So this could be starting to talk to somebody. Maybe somebody's interested in asking you out, asking questions. Your challenge, though, is you're hesitant, right? Do I do this? Do I take this leap? Do I go for it? Have I experienced this before? Is this the same shit, different day? You know, again, it goes back to the Page of Swords. Ask questions, you know, ask yourself these things. Be real with yourself, right? But we are seeing here that something's getting started. There is an opportunity here to move forward and you know, to experience something new. I have the High Priestess, right? Why is the High Priestess here? Because this is what's coming towards you. Ooh, somebody at work keeping their eye on you. There may be somebody at work spying on you, keeping an eye on you. All right. That could be good. You know, it could be looking at you for later promotions, or I'm looking at you for, you know, something more, you know, let's work together. But they could be observing your work, just making sure that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. And also it could be a secret admirer at work. So we are getting this energy with this. Somebody's interested, somebody's observing you and wanting and really questioning everything. Right. And again, this could be a mirror of you. You might be looking at somebody, admiring somebody at work, and you're just questioning everything. You know, and I have the 10 of Pentacles. So I do feel like this has got a lot to do with work here. There could be a collaboration coming in. There could be something, secrets that have not been, you know, there's some information that has been withheld from you, but it's going to work out in your favor. It looks like there could be an advancement or some money coming in. This is always marking some abundance, investments growing as well. And somebody here thinking about investing in you. So again, with the relationship, you have somebody very interested. So anything else Spirit wants you to know? I have the Moon card. We have a full moon coming up, right? You know, there's always a new moon or a full moon coming up. Full moon Pisces coming up, and we have the Devil card. All right, so I am seeing Spirit say that you could be conflicted with your feelings. You may get in your fears. Things could be changing. Try not to focus too much on every little detail, because you could obsess about every little detail and blow up, of course, the ones that we don't want to happen. So we are seeing some triggers around the Pisces full moon with that Devil and the Moon card. Something is coming up for you to release spiritually. And I have the Four of Cups. And I feel like the feeling of being refused, the feeling of somebody not interested in you, the worry, the fear that somebody's not interested in you. This could be what has been building. This could be a newer insecurity. It just seems like there could have been a pattern that you've been dealing with. And this is showing me that this might be coming up for you, one of your biggest fears. So either this is you hesitant on something because of this fear that's coming up for you. And that's why you're being asked to really question and look at the facts before you make a decision. You have the 10 of Pentacles, and you have the Ace, and you have the High Priestess showing up for you, which is telling me there's an opportunity coming your way that is a new start for you. And it looks like it could be worth your investment. But your fears are also coming up about moving forward. All right. All right. All right. So explicit, I got you. And I got Michelle as well. So this is the current list, and I just did Fernando's. So all right, Emma. And I have Dreamer in here too. Dreamer comes before Leela. I can't remember who Leela is. I know I've seen you before. My throat. Sorry, guys. It's annoying. Remember, if you can make sure I'm getting your handle when you send your question in, so I know exactly who I'm answering for. All right, Emma. What to do? I read your email. I still feel like she's lurking. I also think. If she's not mentally unhinged, she's not from this planet right now. Feeling QOW, but I could QOS. Let's see. So, is she still lurking around his energy? Let's see. All right, guys. So she asked a couple questions here. So it might be, if it seems I go longer, it's because people pay for additional questions. All right, we got the 7 of Wands here at the bottom. So she's lurking. Let's see, 6 of Cups. She still has feelings for him. All right, it's no doubt. All right. So she is lurking. Is she back with her husband? 3 of Wands. Yes. It looks like she's back, but she's still keeping her options open. She's back, but she doesn't want to stay. She wanted to leave in the first place. But it looks like for the kid. So I am getting that it looks like they're trying to work things out. You know, is she mentally unhinged? The World card. She's just, you know, she's in a place in her life. She wants something new in her life. She wants, she's not happy with what she's accomplished. She's not happy with where she's at. And she does feel kind of stuck. All right. She's doing, you know, she's trying to do what's best, but she, you know, she got to figure out her own shit. All right. So, what to do? You know, what's his feelings right now? Ace of Swords. All right. And the Fool card. So he looks free. All right. He may feel bad. He may feel guilty. He may feel a little disappointed about the outcome of what's going on. But I feel like, you know, he's in this place where he's kind of, he likes to be free. He wants to be free from this situation. How would he respond if you were to reach out? I got the Lovers card. So there it goes. You're going to be talking again, communicating again, and there's the Queen of Wands. So to answer your question, you're feeling Queen of Wands, but you could Queen of Swords it. Your Queen of Wands is coming in. Maybe you're supposed to Queen of Wands it. Either way, Queen of Wands is very, you know, you take inspired action. So if you're Queen of Wands right now, no matter what I say, you're going to do what you want to do, not in a stubborn way, in an inspirational way. You're just going to know. And if you feel more Queen of Swordsy, the same thing. You already know. So just asking yourself what the facts are. You know, what is your intention? And, you know, am I just opening up lines of communication and maybe just kind of, you know, keeping it simple, keeping it, you know, hey, I'm, you know, friendly, you know, and keeping it more serious talk. But you have the Queen of Wands showing up here for you and you have the Lovers card. So what I'm getting here is it, you know, if you were to connect with him, you may be happy with the result. You may, you know, have this moment that feels good again. It feels like you have them back. But what if, just what if he wasn't to respond to you? You know, I am seeing the Eight of Cups and I'm seeing the Eight of Pentacles, which can be maybe they need a little bit of time on their own. And the Ace of Pentacles could just be, you know, it doesn't mean it's over. You're planting the seed. He may be in a place, I'm trying to look at it, you know, from different perspectives. He may be in a place where he's recuperating. He just wants to be, you know, by himself. But you know what? The switch is on. The seed is planted. So it looks like a win-win situation, even if you were to reach out. There's something about this connection where you feel you guys have developed enough feelings for each other, enough movement, enough relations with each other. You know how far you can push the envelope. You know what you can do before it's, you know, just like in your face, humiliating. You know what I'm talking about, I hope. Like, you know, am I going to reach out and be totally, you know, like, you guys care about each other or have cared about each other enough that I don't think if you were to reach out and they weren't to respond, it would be planting the seed. And if they do respond, you guys are going to be feeling this special moment again and maybe even reminiscing is what I got for you. So let me know how you feel about that. And if I went deep enough with that, if I answered your questions. All right, Emma. All right, Taja. Dichelle. All right. How does Sag X feel about me? And what are his intentions? I got the hint. All right. So Sag, you're Sag. How are you? Let's see. All right, for your Sag. So we're looking at your Sag. How do they feel? Right. So how do they feel? All right. I got the Queen of Pentacles. Let's see at the bottom. I got the Queen of Cups. All right, so they are feeling heavy emotions about you. They may be acting cool, calm, and collected. And it may appear that they're talking to other people because there are a couple queens showing up. All right. But that doesn't mean anything. You weigh heavy on their heart. They're still processing their emotions because you guys went through a lot or you guys battled it out. There was just a lot of intensity between the two of you. You know, there's still this desire to talk to you. They still think about you. It may be that they're feeling heavy right now. So they're not coming to you because of, they're not taking action because they're still trying to process and figure out how they feel. I don't know if they're mad, upset, angry, intense. I don't know what's happened. I don't always remember your backstories, but it does look like my intent is to clear things up with you. And you got the Ace of Wands too. You're always on my mind. You're always on this person's mind. But the problem is you're still up against a challenge right now because there is some intense, it could be jealousy, it could be anger, it could be frustration with you, right? So if you've been talking, maybe you're reaching some point where things are starting to shift, you know, because you got the 10 and you got the 1. So we're talking about the dial switching, where things can start to change and go in a different direction. And I have the Fool card. So you are getting this new energy right here with the Ace of Wands, Ace of Swords, and the Fool card. So if it's just distance, that's the only thing that is right now. It seems like you guys have broken, obviously, what I was saying, the 10 of Wands, you've broken that silence. And you've started talking, and the Fool card is, who knows where this is going to go, but it's open. The doorway's open. But I'm just going to ask you, like, where is it going to go? I mean, if it's distance, and that's always been the problem, what do you want? What do you want to happen? When you're clear, you know, it's not as fun, you know, because what happened before that caused all this stress is just going to happen again. Because the distance thing, you know, if it's physical distance, is that what you're saying? Because I don't want to go on this tangent if it's not that. But physical distance, you know, you want somebody to always be there and talk, and you want to fantasize about how this is going to turn out. But a lot of people can't see taking the actions in their life to do what their fantasy is playing out. So it's like, that's the only discord. It's not that I'm not attracted to you. It's not that I don't like flirting with you. It's not that I don't like talking to you. But there's nothing we can really do about it. And that may come up again. And he may not. Yeah. So was you guys talking all the time? Now it's barely conversation. Because somewhere it just became all talk, no action. And it doesn't, even if it's his part and you were ready, it was all talk, no action. So it didn't seem like it was going anywhere. So it becomes responsibility just to keep up with a relationship long distance, but somewhere we're losing faith that it's going to turn into anything else. That's the only thing. That's why you're not getting that I don't have feelings for you. It's not, it's just that there's logic here. There's just logic here. It's just not going anywhere. But you haven't found anybody to replace that feeling. You haven't found anybody as interesting to talk to. You haven't found anybody to move on to. And so you're stuck in that narrative. I guarantee you, if somebody awesome was to come in and talk, you started talking to somebody online again, you'd probably start a whole new relationship because you guys didn't have a chance to bond, even though emotionally you did. So it does feel like a breakup, even though you're physically distant. It does feel like a breakup when you disconnect from somebody online. It may never have been an issue for you, the physical distance, but obviously it looks as though it was for him. So you may have been able to keep on going and not caring about the distance, and he would have been, you know, trying. It looks like the 10 of Wands. I'm doing everything I can. You did all the work. You went to see him all the time. You did all the work. You know, and that can show here too, the Queen of Cups, 10 of Wands. You're doing all the work here. And you're going to do it this time as well. You're going to be the one doing all the work. Why didn't he come? I'm just asking questions. You know, you were being the responsible one, and this one here wasn't taking the responsibility. Yeah. Well, you have definitely a situation that has so many variables and different reasons why things, and there could have been just a lot of stuff going on, which is that 10 of Wands. And it may just have wore the situation down. But what I can see is intentions to keep conversation open. They still think about you. With the Ace of Wands, there's still potential here. And they don't know where things are going, but it may not bounce back to the way you wanted it or the way it was right away, but there's potential here. So start a new story. See where it goes. Just kind of, all right, the ball's in your court right now. You have open lines of communication. Keep them open. Don't put any pressure on it, and kind of water what areas you want to water, and see if it takes on a new life form. See if this relationship turns into something else other than trying to make it the same type of relationship it was before. There is still potential here, but your approach to it is going to be what makes or breaks it. You know, loosening up the grip a little bit, trying to let go of the old narrative, and just saying, you know what, I've got Sagittarius back on the line. I can check in. So when I do check in, let's make it the best check-ins as possible. And let's see if there's still something here that we can water and turn into a relationship. He may be, and you have to come to terms with that. He may be. There's two queens that showed up. All right. So I'm not trying to stress you out, but he may be. And you have to you cannot dive into that. Who cares? You guys are not committed just yet. He may be a little disengaged. You're calling it out, but it doesn't mean there's no potential for you. If you get caught up in the story of other people and jealousy, you're going to drive yourself mad. And every text you send him is going to come from that place of fear. So you're not watering the type of relationship that you can to attract him in. You want to attract him back in. Worrying about talking to other people. How many people have you talked to and it never went anywhere? We can talk to all the people we want to in the world. What I'm getting is he's definitely burnt out from responsibility, but there is potential here for you guys to start fresh. And my own personal advice is, do not worry about them talking to other people unless if you're in a relationship and it's defined, you know, that's no bueno. But if you're not in a defined relationship, you just gotta act like you don't care. The more you don't care, the more you'll attract them in. I hope that helped. All right. All right. Let's see. What can I expect? Can I expect from Andrei? No, DH, you can totally. I think you're tired, Detail, because you've had to put more work into it than you're supposed to. I think you need somebody to put the work in for you. You've put a lot of effort, a lot of energy into this. And that's just it. You are dealing with somebody that's now making you feel like it's your fault. And I think you are fed up with it. But the more you disengage, the more you may get the answers of what's really going on. All right, I do have to move on though. So Andrei, what to expect from Andrei moving forward? Let's see. All right, I'm talking and then some back and forth. Back and forth. All right. So what to expect from Andrei? 3, 4, and 5 of Cups and the Ace of Swords. I mean, it's broken conversation. You can't trust the situation because one minute it seems good. It seems like we're talking. It seems like everything's fine. And then he pulls away and shows no interest and you're feeling depressed. You feel like you did something wrong. And then you'll get communication again, and then it'll repeat, rinse, wash, repeat. And it's also the same thing with the reading I just did. It's breaking you down too, maybe a little bit. Like you're starting to wonder if this person is interested in you. And they're triggering your fear of abandonment. It's like, but they like to talk to you, the Star card, you know, and you feel this potential with them. Because they maybe even say things that make you think that, you know, there's potential. But it's like it doesn't go anywhere. And then you're stuck here with the 5 of Cups, feeling drained. And then just as you're thinking maybe, you know, maybe this isn't what I want, then they come back around. You're welcome. I got you. All right. So I am seeing that this could be another cycle you're going through of what to expect moving forward. And look, I got the 2 of Pentacles. So I'm seeing a back and forth. Things are kind of up in the air. Like you get this spark of hope that makes you happy. And it seems like it starts to go somewhere. And then, you know, it seems like you take a step back. And then you get conversation again and a breakthrough. And then it goes around. So that's what I'm getting for you. Now, it doesn't mean that, you know, and I got the 3, you know, 3 of Swords. It's just every time it's kind of draining you, disappointing you. But because there's a little bit of movement and hope, especially with this Star card, you go around again and again and again. And so it may happen a few times. And maybe each time you are taking a step forward, who knows? But right now I can see that it's dimming your light. I'm sending love. All right. All right. So I have Susan. All right. You're welcome. I hope that made sense. Okay, so Mexican. Before I move on, let me finish this for you. So you don't know if you should just let go of this connection. this is what I always say. It's harder to let go, especially when we put so much weight on that word, let go. You know, you kind of set yourself up for a rule. I've got to do this. I've got to let go. I've got, you know, and it's like, and then you beat yourself up, that 5 of Cups, because you can't. And so then it just makes you feel guilty and ashamed because you know you should, but you can't. So my advice is to don't do anything. Just do yourself though, and try to, you know, be in the moment. Don't set you know what I'm saying? Like, yes, do I think if I was your friend sitting on a couch, I would tell you, man, you gotta break away a little bit. You gotta detach a little bit. Maybe it will turn into something, but don't put all your focus on it. Focus on other things, put less importance on him. When you put less importance on him, he'll probably feel it. But you got to be strong enough not to run to it every single time he comes around, because it can be a trap. So my recommendation is just try and detach from it a little bit. You don't have to let go of the desire or the hope that something will come of it. Just the grip on it. No, you didn't miss you yet. Right. So I appreciate you too. Thank you. All right, so Susan, I don't know what your handle is, so I hope you don't mind that I used your first, the first name here. So, let's see. Uh-oh. Oh, okay, so that's you right here. Got you. What are our intentions towards me right now? Let's see. All right, so we got an earthy energy. All right, so they are kind of confused about what to do. You know, they're up in their head, so they definitely have got you on their mind. And they have feelings for you too, but they're torn. They're trying to look at what's real and facts and trying to do what's best for the situation. They're interested in you. They feel pulled towards you, but you stress them out in some ways. Maybe they can't read you. They can't figure you out. You know, they're attracted to you. You may take things personal or sensitive. I'm not sure. But they're definitely drawn to you. They're, you know, it's like, I can't make a decision. And we got the Knight of Cups, right? You know, I got my eye on you. And the Page of Swords. So, you know, what I'm seeing here is communication is still there, and it will be there. I got questions, you know, I'm questioning you. I'm questioning this situation. I'm questioning my own feelings. I'm not sure. Sometimes I doubt what could come of this, what could happen. I don't know the context behind the situation, whether this is a new person or whether this is somebody you're broken up with. It shows me, though, somebody is battling with their own truth and fighting their feelings, right? So sometimes they doubt the situation, and other times they're feeling pulled. It's like, you know, very attracted to you. There's a magnetic pull towards you. There's feelings, you know, they don't like, you know, they don't want to hurt your feelings. You know, so they could be texting. Their intentions right now is to question things, ask, get the facts, talk. And I don't know if there's a child involved. Maybe they're focusing on their child or their responsibilities and trying to avoid their feelings until they figure out what they want to do. If they're torn between two different situations and there's a child involved, this is why you may take it personal. But what I'm here to say is that it's not personal towards you, your feelings, or how attractive they are to you. It's just that looks like your person is trying to look at things logically. You know, there's no doubt that I don't have feelings for you, but something's holding this back that is, you know, creating this mental tension. And no matter what, I feel like you have them trying to tell you how they feel and open up because they still want to keep communication open. Now, I do have the King of Pentacles and I have the King of Swords. So I don't know if they're pulled between work and relationships, or they're pulled between a partnership, a friendship, and this relationship, or or you are. You might have a choice. There could be two kings around you, is what I got. So hopefully that helps. Let me know if I answered your questions. Oh, okay. So that's right. I because your situation is not as common, um you know, but your cards show all that. Yeah, he's got feelings. Yeah, and there's choosing between two men. I mean, so, you know, Susan, no matter what, the man has feelings for you. He's always going to have feelings for you, right? Can you have a platonic relationship? Yes, you can. Just don't lead him on. You just have to be the one not to lead him on. And, but you know he has feelings for you. So why do you want a platonic, you know, relationship with him? You know, you have so much fun together and he thinks you'd make a great couple. So, you know, somewhere you desire this attention, you know, but just know that we're all adults here. That kind of relationship can lead to, you know, trouble. But if you guys have self-control, you should be fine. You know? Are you afraid you won't be able to control your urges? I would say if you think there's potential that you couldn't control your urges, or you don't want to hurt him, and you don't want to hurt your family, I would say maybe distance is good. Yeah. So maybe distance is good, just to kind of lay down the rules. Yeah, but you're not going to be able to stop somebody from falling deeper in love with you. But if you set strong boundaries, they know their limits. So, you know, you can't lead somebody on unless you want to. I will not be cheating on you with Archer. Where were you today during my live stream? There's no cheating with Archer. We share. Ooh. Thank you, Susan. And he may detach, and you may, Susan, you may not like that feeling because you like the attention in some way, but you've got to let him detach. You've got to. You've got to get used to that. You can't have your cake and eat it too. All right. If he's gotta take his feelings away a little bit for the time being, you've got to be okay with that. You don't have to do anything I say, but that's what my higher self is saying. We all like the attention, especially if you're not getting it at home. Right? You're welcome. Thank you for sharing your energy and your story. All right. Michelle. All right, let's see. That's right. All right, you did. I did see that. I got your personal. Remember, guys, anybody else here, you know, a lot of you do get personal readings behind the scenes, so it does help me dive in a little bit more. I can go in more depth, and then you can check in here. So that's always good to do, too, if you need more assistance or help. All right. Oh. All right, let's see. Ooh, he's a Cancer. Yeah, but it's not weird. All right, let's see. All right, you know what? Maybe test the waters. I thought it was. Yeah, you need to have some. You need to open up to it. All right, maybe you do need to relieve some stress. So let's look at his true feelings towards you. You got the Temperance card, so he really thinks you're cool, chill. You know, he knows that you're dealing with. He can see that you're dealing with some sadness, but he's very attracted to you. So you got major arcana here. So it does look like authentically he looked very attracted to you, but he may, being that he knows your situation, may be kind of not being as upfront about it because he knows that you're still grieving, right? So that's why there's sort of a pause here with the Temperance card. It's like, I'm just kind of letting things naturally unfold. But because you're hearing pokes from your coworkers, this may be the time to actually maybe act on it, because the Magician card says you both could make it work. I got you, Susan. Yeah. So he may, out of respect of you grieving and you knowing, he may be holding back and just kind of being chill and seeing where things are going. But the Magician is telling me that this could be where maybe this is the next chapter of your situation. You never know where this path's going to take you or who needs to get you to the next stage, you know, and it doesn't mean that your relationship with your hubby's over, but it is saying It is saying, though, that this could be the time you guys are you're attracting the same energy, and they may be silently suffering with something too. And that's why you guys might be attracted to each other, right? But this could be a good healing moment for you guys. Really work together. They may be able to help you get through this period. You may be helping them get through this period. Yeah. So this could be, I mean, not to bring personal stuff in, but I mean, I have ended up dating some of my best friends. And it obviously didn't work because here I am, but you know what I mean? But we're still friends. It's like sometimes people are, you never know how the chariot's going to show up in your life. The chariot is the vehicle that's taking you to your next destination where spirit's trying to get you to go. And I got the Page of Wands. It looks like there is some fun and flirting coming your way. There is potential. Remember, you have free will. I'm kind of looking at the probability of the possibilities. But the Page of Wands does show me that he's attracted to you more than friends. And he may be seeing, though, that enough's enough. Like, he might be listening to your hubby. He could be listening to you, and he could be like, you know what, maybe it's worth taking a chance right now. Yeah. All right. So there could be like, let's go somewhere, let's go hang out, let's see. So you know what I would do if I was you, because this is awkward in some ways. What I would do is just start in your head, setting the intention that he's gonna open up and flirt with me. He's gonna, invite me somewhere, and just see where it goes, because it looks like there could be a playful date coming in with your person. And so you do have 2 career questions too. So let's see. We're seeing where this is going. This could lead into something fun and playful. All right. There's a strong pull to go that direction. Now, should you go back to school you got a yes right out the gate, the Justice card. It's a contract. It does seem like, even legal, school, student loans or whatever, even if you're not taking out student loans, it still gives me that energy of there could be a yes. This could be a good turning point for you that brings you success. But should you try your hand in starting a baking business? Ooh, I'm always big for creative entrepreneurship. I've got the 3 of Pentacles. So this is using your skills for other things. But, so you're in you could go either way. It may bring you more success. It may bring you, you're going to have success if you were to go back to school. But the 3 of Pentacles might be where you're using your skills. And could you do both? Could you do both? Or, I mean, I get it. I had to completely end my one career to go full-time with here. And the other things I want to do, because I'm also doing my own shop too, you know what I mean? And it's hard to do all this and something else, so it is kind of a sacrifice. And I'm trying to say, I just said in my head, if you had to choose which one, and I got the Ace of Wands, both, there's potential with both. It's a win-win either way. Are you able to collab with friends or do something with friends where, some of the responsibilities, you bake as a side hustle. So do you have friends or somebody else that you can kind of work together with, so you can delegate some tasks and that you could do both? But if not, even your skill here, like I said, your baking business could turn into something successful. There's no here. So that might be an option. Maybe I'm just telling you these things so that you can kind of play around in your head with the idea. but it looks like you could be bringing support in from other people to help you with the bacon business while you're doing both. Because it does seem like you feel passionate too about your school as well. If you still feel like you have some pull here and you feel safer having this job, if you were to cut this out and just do this, you may panic. You may panic because you might not be able to sustain, the same type of wealth or finances that you did this way. And so until you're able to do this on your own, you may need this. So it could be, that's what I'm getting for you. Yeah. And I'm coming from my Virgo mindset here, which is why I always have my foot in the door with, I've had my own business with massage. I can also work wherever I want to. And I have other things I can do. I always make sure that I have that side of me that needs to feel safe. I need that side secure. But I also love the independence. I've had 3 businesses in my life. I love the independence of having, being my own boss, right? So I get that feeling. I love you too, right? All right. And you'll be hearing from me soon behind the scenes. All right. So, Milan and then Coco. Hello, Coco. I know you came in. Let's see. We have Milan. All right, so Milan's got 3 questions too. Let's see. Yes, I'll try and dive as deep as I can, I promise. What's his feelings? What's hidden? And what's the outcome? All right, so you got 3 questions. Remember, guys, if I do go longer with people, it's because they are paying for additional questions, which is perfectly fine. I just don't want you to think you're gypped if I just answer one question. Yes. Thank you for being here with your energy. All right. All right, so let's see. So we are looking at what's the feelings, what's being hidden, and what's the outcome. It's kind of what I was doing actually. That was actually the setup of today's live stream thing. All right, we got the Knight of Pentacles to start. So we got a good start. Depending on how much, or if you like the Knight of Pentacles, everybody has their own story about that one. All right, so their feelings, the Temperance card, the Moon card. So they kind of go back and forth a little bit, but you guys share or some of the same interests, and they are emotionally invested in this. So there are feelings there, but I do see a hesitation about the future with the Moon card and the 7 of Pentacles. So what I feel is they feel this comfortable pull towards you. They feel something with you, and you definitely sparked some sort of interest and got them thinking about the future, right? But they're staying chill about it. It's like they're tiptoeing around it. It's like they're just wanting to kind of, take one step at a time, because they don't know exactly what they want just yet. Now, I don't know if there's a history, and that could be the reason. I don't know if they just got out of a relationship, and that could be the reason. Or you guys are just really, really new, and it's showing me that, I'm just kind of feeling things out, you look interested, the seeds have been planted, so things are kind of changing right now between which ones. Yes, history. Okay. You're welcome, Michelle. All right. So what I'm seeing, Milan, is that there's history there between the two of you. So your person goes back and forth from reflecting on the past. Sometimes they look at the, what happened between the two of you. Sometimes they look at the mistakes, the failures, and then sometimes they look at all the good times or all the things that, that they like about the situation and you. So the moon card is telling me that there's a sense of, I get in my head sometimes, right? Or I'm uncertain, and there's some subtle some subtle changes. But the potential for this to unfold organically on its own without you having to do anything, it looks like there's potential for this to pan out and go somewhere. But you do have somebody that's going, wait a minute, I'm still questioning things. I'm not sure yet. But there's a natural draw, a natural pull towards you. What's hidden that you can't see is the moon card. So the moon card is saying this person thinks about you more than you think. They may think about you. You may be on their subconscious, and that at night when they're dreaming, you pop in their head. So they may be acting chill and, kind of going with the flow here, but they have more emotions, intense emotions, and they're letting on. And I have the 8 of Pentacles. So it looks like the intention to, take the next step has crossed their mind, working things out, making it work between the two of you. And I got the Ace of Wands. So if you think that the passion has died out, or that they're not interested, or that they don't see potential, this is what's hidden, is they do see potential. You're somebody that maybe they have gone further, or they've gotten to know, or you've gotten to know them in a way that nobody else has. And something came in and caused a block. So that's what the block is. Something came in and caused a temporary block. So you got to trust your intuition at some, the High Priestess, you've got to trust that is the reason. And it's okay. You got to be okay with that happens. Because you never know what's really going on beneath the surface. Now, is he afraid? Could there have been cold feet? That's chill in the moon. That can tell me cold feet because of nervousness about the future. But sometimes people need to run in a couple circles until they figure out what they really need. Figure out what their triggers are. Figure out what's going on. But there is real feelings for you. They were invested in this connection, and there is potential for you guys to take that next step. So let's work on things. And you're getting closer to possibly, because you're saying he asked you for marriage. And I'm getting the 4 of Pentacles. That they have not let go of you, but they have pulled back their energy a little bit. Something scared them. Maybe it is family pressure. Sometimes if somebody's going through some pressure in their life and they project it onto you, they may instantly be like, oh God, I don't want to get married. I don't want to be like that, or this is happening, or I don't want to do this again. And they may panic. But it looks as though you guys have come pretty far together, that there's still a foundation being formed. So you may have been hit by somebody's projections and fear. The possible outcome, I see the 8 of Wands, and I see so I see the energy shifting already. You may be surprised at somebody taking a 180. The way you think something is going, just a little bit of a tweak of your own mindset, and releasing a little bit. This energy looks like it's shifting pretty quickly. You can see this portal coming towards you, the energy shifting, communication coming your way, somebody here changing their direction, changing their choices, deciding to talk about something, even just communicate about something. All right. And I've got the 3 of Pentacles. So I see a turnaround here. I'm not getting a complete, like I could keep pulling until I get the 10 of Pentacles, which would show me marriage and make you happy. But I can't keep doing that. You know, I've got to stop where Spirit's saying stop. And it's showing me that there's somebody coming back in. They're coming back in. And it looks like, let's talk things out. Let's try and work on things. Maybe take a step back. Maybe just hang out. Maybe try and make it work. But I do see a shift happening here. And you have the 3, 4, 7, and 8 of Pentacles, which tells me that there's still something worth working on. And you may be, you know, this could be an unexpected turn. You know, you may get communications start coming in, and all of a sudden you guys are back on the road again. So it does look like you guys will be trying to work something out again in the future. Whew. I hope that helped. You're welcome. Thank you. I pulled a lot of cards there, and I didn't get any negative, really negative. All the cards were saying the same. All right. All right, Coco. I see other people that came in, and I'm going through the list. I will not miss you. All right. So let's see. Catherine. I am going to put up the questions closed, though, to slow it down. So please be mindful now if you come in. All right. Yes, you saw that. You saw that. I pulled a lot of cards and no negative cards. All right. So Coco. All right. All right. So we're trying to figure out now if he's single, right? Because that'd be a shame. That'd be like, oh, come on. All right. All right. Let's see. Is he single? I know. It sounds like it's progressing. All right, let's see. Is he single? Please say yes. I got the King of Pentacles here at the bottom. It looks like he is. It looks like he's on his own, his very own. It looks like he may have walked away from an unhealthy situation. So it looks like you're looking good. You know, I got he might have recently made a decision to walk away from a situation. And that could be also why he's a little bit hesitant, or was a little bit hesitant, or was reading the situation wrong with you. So, you know, when you told me that you had to say something and all of a sudden he started pouring out your heart, he may be freshly on the market. That's such a weird thing to say. That he's almost kind of cautious and very judgy at first, you know? And I got the Magician, single. You've got the number 1 card. It looks like he's single, available, and ready to attract in. And that's, you know, you both are Geminis, right? So you're getting this fresh start. You may be, potentially he's looking for a fresh start. So anyway, I look at these three cards together. This is somebody that is venturing off on their own, ready for a new start. They've checked out of their past life. They're attracting in new. They're focused and ready to go. So I hope to God don't make me look like a fool that this person comes in as single. All right. And I do have the Four of Wands here. So I am getting a yes for that too as well. This could be new. This could be a new event coming in. This could be a new start for you. And this could be a go. You both are pretty much in a place where if you wanted to take, be serious about each other, it looks like we're ready to go and we could move forward. So there's nobody holding this person back. Now, that doesn't mean that somebody can't try to come in and, we always have to have some sort of antagonist, right? Is it an antagonist? Yeah. But it looks like there's potential. This could go in the right direction. So always for a yes or no, I pull three to get, and you have three yeses here. Well, this could be a no in other circumstances, but in this circumstance, two yeses, no, it's a yes. With this, a yes. Let's just see what else I get about what he's thinking about the situation. So the Emperor card, what he's thinking about a situation. It looks like you guys are just kind of figuring things out. And if you're saying the time, you guys both work a lot. This could be somebody that's focusing on their work, their career. And so they could be, even with the Eight of Cups, somebody who's focusing on their future. So you might be dealing with somebody that's, that's why you're getting that energy too. It's my focus is on me right now. So whenever we're free, independent, and we're focusing on ourselves, if we're not actively looking for love, we're going to come across as somebody who's just doing our thing. So it's your reading is reflecting what you already know right now. So to me, it sounds pretty good. It sounds like you're on the right track. All right. I got my fingers crossed for you. I gotta get my fingernails done. I took a while off them, just to let them. I'm going on a little tangent. Sorry, guys. All right. I am rooting for you and sending love. I want this to work for you, Coco. As much as I don't want to see my people go away, my people, look at me, my people, right? But as long as you're going away happy. Don't care about the nails, just cross your fingers. I got my fingers crossed for you. All right, now we got another one. All right, sending love. I hope you have a great weekend. All right. So, Terry, what is this? Oh, it's a roller coaster. Oh my God, you just saw him too. Yes. All right. So I'm going to start with this, Terry. You see that you have a strong pull on this person. There's no question in satisfying your, yes, they're attracted to you. Yes, there's feelings for you. and you can always get them back, right? They're always coming back around. So now the problem is the 5 of Wands without me even pulling it. There's a lot of tension. There's a lot of friction. There's a lot of how do we fix this? And challenges, because it's a roller coaster. And this is going to be you finding a creative way to refrain from doing what reactions you had in the past and reacting from the way they're acting. Like you really, you know, you can switch the entire narrative right now. I mean, there's no doubt that they don't feel for you, but there's a history there. So get in a way to clear ground. And I'm also going to say, set in some new intentions while you're away this weekend. I love that you do that. If I was in Colorado, I'd come hang out. I'd go hiking with you all the time, right? I need to get out more. There's no hikes around. It's too hot. But set in your intentions on where you really want to see this reading go. I mean, this relationship go. And maybe things could have worked with Taurus, and maybe they still will if that's really where you're headed to. But you still have unfinished business with Gemini. And until you clear this with Gemini, you know, Taurus may come back around in the future. So here's the thing. You don't have to give up on Taurus either. Nobody's got a ring on your finger yet. You're still trying to figure out your own shit. You're still trying to walk this planet. All of us feel guilty like we got to be. No, those are the old belief systems. We don't got to do anything we don't want to do. Right? So it doesn't mean, it means right now Taurus is taking back seat. Gemini came back in and said, I want front row. Right? So right now in your drama, your story, Gemini's front row, and that's it. So now you got to finish this business and see what's going on. And now if you want to make it work, you got to figure out what the problem was and how not to. It's all about reaction. It's all about changing. It's all about how can we do, but it's got to be a two-way street too. But it always starts with ourselves. So how can we do it different? So giving yourself, you're already doing what you need to do by going away this weekend and just trying to figure out how, don't get sucked into the old drama. Don't get sucked into it. Now, the Taurus thing, what I would do personally with everything that I learned and I share with you guys is if I were you and I had Taurus and he was not giving me attention, I'd pull my attention away and focus on Gemini. Because when you let go and detach from somebody, that's when they come back around. You put your focus on Taurus, here comes Gemini. You put your focus on Gemini, here comes Taurus, right? But what the most important thing though is figuring out what does Terry want? And how do you want to make it happen? How do you want to make it change? And Taurus, you know, if you find that you don't want it to work with Gemini, and when you really let go of Gemini, Gemini is going to leave. When you're done, you're going to be done. And that's it. And Gemini is going to have no choice. But you call that shot. That's when you decide. And if that were to happen, and you really do have feelings for Taurus, Taurus will probably come back. So let's see. So the thing is that I know them as Taurus and Gemini, and so because I already know them as Taurus and Gemini, I'm going to confuse their first names, to be honest with you. All right, so what can you expect for the weekend? Let's see. So that was pretty much all the advice. Let's see what the cards say now. All right, you got the Six of Pentacles. So it looks like some back and forth. All right, some back and forth. And we see the King of Pentacles. Oh, you might hear from Taurus. We got the Ace of Wands. And we got the Four of Wands. So I know that I love you for sharing all this with me. All right. And, you know, you know what I mean? I'm just figuring it out as we go. All right. So what the cards are showing is that the Six of Pentacles shows that you're going to get some effort. So it looks as though back and forth, some communication, the Ace of Wands. You may actually, like I said, hear from Taurus. But either way, it looks like this is going to be an eventful weekend. Now, you are dealing with some drama, so it could mean that there could be some back and forth communication with Gemini. It could be some back and forth communication with Taurus. You may, unless you're shutting your phone off, you could be just having fun, but it does look like you're able to relax a little bit this weekend, knowing that there is movement in your relationship. So we do see communication and energy being received from other people. So it's not just you giving, it's you getting. There could be a gift, there could be a memory shared this weekend that makes you happy. But it does look like a pretty successful weekend. It's just showing up the way, you know, hopefully the conversation shows up a lot better than it has been showing up. But I do see that it could be a pretty eventful weekend. And I see the Hierophant. You know, so I am seeing Taurus energy too, even though you're talking about Gemini. So I just think you're going to, I don't think you're going to be, I'm not seeing cards of you feeling shut out or you feeling sad. So if you come back and tell me you're sad, you know, or they were talking or there was some back and forth and something happened, I might be a little surprised. Yeah, that's how it works. So, and it could be, it's a 4-day weekend. So I am seeing though too, that try to have fun and celebrate and do you. The more you're focused on your own fun and you're having a blast, that's when people pop in. It's like, why are you trying to ruin my good time? What, you can just tell I'm having a good time? Because when you're having a good time, you're more open and you attract in other people. You attract people. So you attract everybody back in. I would totally. I've been talking about going back up north. So I've been manifesting certain things. I may be headed back that way, even just for a trip. Yes. Very little phone signal, so that's a bonus. I hope you have a blast this weekend. All right. Let's see. We're headed. We're getting there, guys. So we have Thumb here. So I have Bia next. I have Lisa, Michelle, Explicit, Dreamer. And I know other people came in, and I promise I'll get you in the order that you came in. You're welcome, Terry. If I'm driving up that way, I will let you know. I will definitely let you know. I'm nervous when I meet people in person, but I definitely will if I'm headed that way. All right. Frankie, FYI. Explicit Beauty and Dreamer. I'm not sure. Both are you. I'm not sure either. But YouTube's been being funny with your handles because right now you're showing up as Dreamer. And you came through as Explicit. So I don't know. So Taja's wanting to come back down to the south and she's in the north right now. You know. All right. So let me see. Thelma. Okay, so Leela, I have you on the list. I just didn't have your name. So you are definitely on the list. Devin, you can throw one in. I'll end with you. But I am done taking more after that. All right. Let's see. Let's see. First timer. Hello, Thelma. All right, so I grow on you. You'll understand. You'll get to know my readings. If you come back, I get to know you a little bit. And the more I engage with you, the energy I pull through is going to help me see through your lens too and read the cards better for you. I also invite you just to look at the cards that I pull for your personal reading. Look at the energy you feel from them. So I may interpret them a certain way because I don't know your story too much, but getting a bunch of good cards too is also a sign that you're on the right path. All right. And to always trust yourself first, not just anything. Keep the power with you, not with me. Don't, you've got to just take everything as a message. And you just had a birthday. Happy birthday. My lion. And you're dating a Libra, or you want to know about a Libra. All right. All right. So let's see. It is erratic. It's back and forth. But let's see the truth behind it. Whatever Spirit has for you about this connection. All right. Well, the 9 of Cups. All right. So there is a very deep romantic, deep feelings and deep connection here. Obviously, they can't get enough of you, but I do have the Hermit card. So the distance is the biggest deal, bottom line. All right. So if I were not to go any further, I would say, let this sit with you. It's been a roller coaster because of the distance. And what keeps you guys going is your desire for one another. And I have the 5 of Cups, though, but it does wear on you guys. For some reason, you guys never found a way to shorten the distance or move together or take it any further. But that is the only thing that I'm seeing so far, is that it's draining and there's sadness about the distance as well. The Devil card is showing up, very karmic situation. You guys both are very attached to one another. There's an addiction almost to, you both feed off one another. You both fuel each other's desires. The Lover's card, look at it. I mean, you guys know how to push each other's buttons. This connection here, it's a very karmic relationship. The connection you guys have built, even long distance, is one like you've never felt before, both of you. All right, there's something that you guys just get from each other that's like no other. But at the same time, some of the people, even if this was a twin flame, even if this was your deepest soulmate, unfortunately, these types of relationships can be some of the hardest relationships we're in. They don't always last because they're painful, and sometimes they last lifetimes, but live in them is so erratic and painful. And sometimes they turn into the most beautiful relationships if people can work through their problems. But the one thing for sure is there's no denying that there isn't a deep desire, a deep connection, and a deep divine love that was there. You guys reach each other on a level that you don't always find easily with other people, but it's not always healthy. It's definitely an on again, off again, ghosting, stop talking. We know how to trigger each other. We know how to pull each other's strings. So the feelings are real. The addiction is real. The relationship, you guys have shared mutual affection for one another. You both have felt it. But they also distance themselves and they go their own path. So they tend to keep themselves distant or keep you distant. Do they have an addiction, or are they dealing with something else that you don't know of? If you don't know, that could be a whole nother path. Maybe they don't like to be lonely, so they keep conversation, they come back in, or if they are dealing with something, they keep it hidden. So intentions. All right, there you are, the Leo. So I want to say this. Despite all the erratic behavior, something about you they have thought about a future with, a family with. They could see themselves in the future with you if they could get their shit together. They have thought about commitment. They are attracted to you. You are the only one showing up in their reading besides themselves being alone. This is their first energy, them. They're reckless. They can live by themselves. They can go do things on their own. Unless, of course, they are in a relationship. That's a whole nother story. That's a complicated situation. Right? So we are seeing here that there's this devil, that there are fears that either keep them from commitment, but if they were to commit, there's something about you that gets them thinking about that path. But that devil card and the star card, there's just a lack of faith. There's maybe even a spiritual difference between the two of you. This person lacks faith. They go their own route. They maybe even lack faith in, families, traditional families. They might be addicted to something, or they may feel like they're a disappointment. They may have a lot of shadows they deal with that you're unaware of, and that you're somebody with light that they're attracted to. You get sucked into it. It dims your light. So you're wondering if there's something wrong with, this, or the erratic behavior is that there isn't. You're just dealing with somebody that might be a little bit unhealthy or carry a lot of shadows. And sometimes there's no answers to that, except a person has to find their own healing in their own ways. And in these types of deep relationships, you can't wait for somebody to heal, and you can't expect somebody to heal. The only thing you can do is work on yourself and heal yourself. And as we heal ourselves, people around us start to, change on their own, or they leave our lives if they're not on the same frequency. So for intentions, it seems like, for what it's worth, they do seem to have good intentions with you when they can, behind all this erratic behavior. But there's no certainty with this type of behavior. And that's where you're always going to be questioning the relationship. So I hope that brings some sort of clarity. You got to remember, you're good. You got to know, this is all about self-love and be, knowing that you're doing the best you can. All right. So let me know if that helps you. All right. All right. All right. So what do you not see coming in September? Let's see. It's funny. A lot of you guys have worded these, and that was kind of my focus on the all signs. Make sure to check out the all signs too if you didn't. All right. All right, you got 7 of Cups showing up. So you got some things. You got Ace of Wands, 9 of Cups, and you got the Hanged Man. All right, so you have a shift of perspective coming in September. You may be seeing things differently by the end of the month. All right, so the Ace of Wands is telling me that there's something starting, something sparking up, someone of interest, someone you desire. Something's going to make you feel very satisfied with the outcome. This could be communication. This could be a new passion, which could be something that you're very passionate about that you really want to do. And it could be new passion with a person. Reigniting passion with somebody that you've been on hold or on wait for some time. You may be letting go of something or someone as well. That could be a potential. I see a lot changing in your life in September with the Wheel of Fortune. There's going to be a lot changing. You're shifting from something that you've outgrown and you're moving into something new, which means the Wheel of Fortune is going to be turning a lot for you. Unexpected turns and twists. What you might think is going on is completely different. Unexpected roadblocks, or maybe turning you down different paths. But you're going to have to go with the changes, the flow. Things aren't always going to seem the way you think they are. We are going into eclipse season. So remember, you have the 9 of Cups. It's all in a good way. But you're going to be feeling like something's turning one way. But its destiny is happening here. It's a turning point for you in September. This is like telling you, surrender and go with the flow here as things are changing for you, because how you see life now, it could be completely different by the end of September. I see justice coming in for you in September. So you may realize some truth, get some truth, something legal coming in, success with work, success with a relationship, a commitment. Realizing one's truth, getting closure from something karmic. So some good stuff you've been doing coming back in your favor, but there's also karmic justice coming in. So if you've been feeling betrayed, if you've been feeling like something hasn't, you haven't got the answers to something, there's closure coming in. But there also could be a new contract coming in, however you want to look at that. Some people don't want contracts at all, but this could be a new person, meeting a new person, somebody you already signed up for. This is a new contract, right? This could be also a new job, new contract. You have the Ace of Swords, which is also showing you clarity, news, contact, a contract. You have 2 aces showing up. Somebody could spill the truth to you. Somebody could tell you some honest news. This could be actually signing some new contract or documents. But there's a change in energy coming in for you that is breaking up the old with the new. And the Nine of Cups is telling me that you're going to be very satisfied with the outcome that's coming in. All right. So any last words from Spirit about September? I see the 10 of Cups. There could be a lot of movement around family, around togetherness, feeling supported, feeling lucky. And we do see possibly, potentially a commitment. There could be something around family too, receiving some news around your family, legal news, money, or anything like that as well. But you've got some really good energy coming in. Feeling closeness with others, feeling valued with the Justice card and the 10 of Cups, and feeling loved is what I see here. So I hope this, I mean, you got some amazing cards. I took out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards. 7 is a lucky number. And you got the 9 and 10 of Cups, which says stepping up and getting closer to your wish. I love that read too. Sending you love. All right. I just hope that that all comes true for you. It will. All right. So we have Lisa. I hope this is you. Lisa C. That's what I got here. Let's see. All right. It will. All right, it's you. So you asked Aries for closure in your letter. So will they answer? Will they answer? Let's see. Will they answer your letter in a timely fashion? In a timely fashion. I've got the World card, so you are seeing follow through. You're seeing movement and closure. All right, so you will receive closure. I even see the Star card, so let's see. So they'll eventually answer it. What else do you want me to know about this? And I got the 6 of Pentacles. So this does talk about shaking hands, you know, respect, out of respect, you know, honoring you. So if you're looking for closure, it looks like you could get respectful closure is what I'm seeing here. And I see the Page of Pentacles, which is also showing me a sincere letter, a sincere note. All right. So I am seeing again, even with that card, and I'm getting the Ace of Wands saying yes. So your question is pretty much, will they answer your letter? I am seeing yes. They will answer your letter. Now, what will come of this? It looks like building a friendship, but right now it looks like that's what they want. Just let's keep it on good terms. Let's be nice to each other, be sincere, and you know, let's move on. And it's the Ace of Wands, which is saying it's a good energy for you. But if you're wanting something more, that's where it could turn into more disappointing. You know, it's like you may get this closure, but are you going to be okay with just that? if they hear back. Because sometimes people won't respond to a letter because they don't think that you'll be okay with just that. Remember, your intention means the most. What you're putting into your words and what you're intending have got to be in alignment. If you have expectations for something more, that is where, you know, there could be resistance. So this is showing me, yes, closure. And I would leave it at that and be okay with that. And then give it space, give it time. You know, you paid for a little bit of advice, which is why I'm giving you this. Give it time. Get what you want out of this situation. Get that closure. You know, I'm trying to, where I'm coming from is a manifesting. I'm coming from a manifesting. My guidance right now is from law of vibration, law of attraction, law of assumption, right? Get the closure you need. Give yourself a little bit of space to do a reset so that you can shift your narrative and hopefully get back or something else happen in the future. But for now, you want the clean cut closure so that you can leave it in good energy and then reframe your entire story. So we got to be careful about what intention and expectations we are putting on, what we're putting out there, because we're going to get back, you know, our fear or resistance. All right. So you see what I'm saying. All right. So Susan, I think I did yours. I did a Susan, I think, in the beginning. Right now I just did Lisa and I have Michelle next. And I have explicit, which is dreamer. All right. So, and then I have Leela. And then DHK is here. Oh, and Susan. No, Susan, you're down. I have another Susan. So I'm going in order that they came in. All right. All right. So I'm not sure if I even got to yours yet. They've been long today. I've had a lot. Yeah. All right. And I think Dreamer's next after. All right. Where is my career and Jen real or new romance? All right. So your career and general read and new romance. So you got two questions. So let's take a look at general career and then any new romance coming your way. All right, so I'm looking at general and I am looking at new romance, which I'm assuming new, like you don't even know, you know, if this is potential coming in. I have just recently ran into a problem where somebody wanted a general read-in and nothing else. And, you know, so I'm always looking at something new, but it's not going to resonate with you if it's new or if it's something, a general, all these other things I'm looking at. If you've got something specific on your mind that you're hoping that I pull up and pull in, that's you already know what you want. So I'm looking at completely new, whatever comes through. All right. All right. All right. Let's see. The general, what's coming towards you in career. It's okay. I don't know if I got to you yet, Susan. Was that you? All right. So So we'll look at career and then we'll look at new romance. And all right. Ooh, this just flew out. You got Knight of Cups. So talk about new romance right there. The Knight of Cups is a traditionally new romance. Somebody here that's really attracted to you. Somebody's got their eyes on you. Could be a water sign. Somebody that wants to ask you out on a date. You know, so you do have romance coming in. Somebody wants your attention. The Six of Wands. All right. So tell me about this Knight of Cups. All right. So let's see. We got the Six of Cups. All right. So this is, it feels really new. It feels soulmate-y energy. It looks like you guys will just have some instant knowing, instant attraction. This can be 6 months, within 6 months. Now, it looks like this is somebody that is going to be very fluid, right? So it's going to feel comfortable. It's going to feel like you've known each other. And there's not going to be any question about where this is going, right? You're going to kind of flow nicely. You both are going to have the same feelings for one another. I have the Nine of Pentacles. So I'm feeling like this is somebody single and available. Could be a Virgo energy. Could be a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Now, this could be somebody that you're meeting through work. You're minding your business. You're doing your thing. You're, you know, looking good. And it seems like love is going to come through this. All right. Now, for your, it could be complicated. All right. So it could be who you're thinking about. Remember, that's why I said that in the beginning. You may have somebody specific on your mind. So we are seeing here that somebody really does have a Cancer, serious feelings for you. And I am seeing they got their eye on you, and it's at work. All right. Now, the Nine of Pentacles can be somebody who's in a high position. All right. So you know, and you know. And so within the next 6 months, you may find yourself being very cuddly, making some memories that the two of you manifest together, making some memories that you guys can put in your little, you know, memory book, you know, scrapbook. So I am seeing here, though, that something's bringing you guys together. Now, your career, you've got the Magician, the Three of Pentacles, and the Nine of Cups. All right, so the sky's the limit with your career. All right, you've got the skills to make it work. You got the tools to make it work. All right, she's like, I know. That's why when I'm channeling on live stream, I can't. Everything I say comes through for a reason. And the Three of Pentacles and the Magician is saying, so, you know, your career is also connected to possibly your love. It looks like the two go hand in hand. You got the nines and the nines. So I do see that you're manifesting in what you desire. You already have a pretty good visual. People who are natural visualizers, people who really have no question about what they want, and are not just letting the universe figure it out for them, are the ones that manifest the quickest. So sometimes when we're not manifesting what we want, it's because we don't even know exactly if it's 100% what we want. We're questioning it in our higher self. All right. So that's why sometimes any doubts or anything like that will hinder our manifestation. But it seems like you and the person on your mind want the same thing. So together you're going to make it work. But also your career, it seems like you already kind of know what you want, and you know how to get it, you know how to work it, you know how to make it happen. And it's an attitude of gratitude. It seems like you got all the pieces. It seems like, to be honest with you, it's all coming together for you. All right. You're going to make the magic happen. You're going to make it work. And you must, I don't know, there must be something about the way you walk, talk, the way you carry yourself. You got somebody here that sees you. You got those eyes. All right. So if you have any doubts, you got to cut those cords right now. Right? We are going in eclipse season, and you know, some of our doubts, even if we're the most confident people in the world, some of our doubts are going to come up and stress us out. Cut those cords. Right? You cannot, with those cards, you cannot let anybody doubt. You can't let any doubts creep in. All right. All right. I'm glad. I wish I had it like you do right now. Send me some of those vibes in. All right. Send me some of those vibes. I was never known as the coolest person. You know what I mean? You're welcome. Thank you for being here and bringing your energy. And honestly, I love it when people are just open and go with the flow. All right. He was fired. Okay. All right. What is the final decision looking like? Let's see. So he was fired, though. Are you worried about you? What are you worried about? Because if he was fired, you're saying, what is the final decision looking like? It looks like it was already made. Oh, you're on suspension. Okay. Thank you, Michelle. All right. So what is the final decision looking like? Let's see. I'm sorry that happened. That's very uncomfortable. You know, and then you got people like me that's like, somebody please touch me so I can punch somebody. I'm happy. I'm spiritual until I'm not. I need to get out some frustration. Oh, if I worked there. I don't. I'm trying to make you laugh. I am. I'm glad you're smiling. I'm sure it wasn't a very pleasant situation to be in. All right. I just saw the Knight of Pentacles. So, I mean, I'm going to go with right now that they're going to take precautions. They're definitely going to look at all the details. But it still looks as though your job might not be compromised. But let's see what the cards say. They're definitely going to look at everything. They're not going to, you know, just tuck this under the rug, I don't think. All right. So he definitely lost his job. You got them asking questions. They're going to ask questions. All right. And I do see the Six of Swords, and I see the Queen of Pentacles. So what I'm seeing right now is there's going to be some investigation or questions being asked, right? I can see that he's lost his job, and that's probably what's best. But they're still questioning things. The Six of Swords says that, you know, it might be a little bit confusing at first, or it might be a little bit of blame going on. So there's going to be a blame game going back and forth. But it does look as though, you know, you guys will finally move past it, so things will clear up. And you got the Queen of Pentacles, what looks like you're going back to work, right? It shouldn't affect your reputation. And to clarify that, I got the Ten of Cups. So the the outcome looks like it's favorable for you, but it does look like you're going to go through some questioning, you know, some blaming. There may be some finger pointing, and so forth. Does that sound about right? You know, so right now you got the Two of Swords. Things are kind of up in the air right now. And so I am sending you love, and I hope that you were not hurt in any way. I mean, besides, you know, I mean, like, that is kind of like, what the fuck? I didn't ask for this. So let me know if that feels what you're feeling. Fingers are crossed for you, dreamer. Like I said, they're going to ask questions. They're going to nitpick at everything because somebody's job was on the line, and they're definitely going to nitpick, but just stay grounded and stay sure in your story, yourself. You know what I mean? And your worth, your self-worth, especially if you were defending yourself. Yes, exactly. It looks like it's going to turn out in your favor. All right. Hi. I am not going to even try for the word of run of verb. It's your turn. All right. What's your question, Leela? So I see a few other people here. I'm going in line that you guys came in. Will there be a reconnection with the person on my mind until the end of the year? We're talking normally, but now he's suddenly closed off. All right. So will you guys reconnect by the end of the year? And let's see, why is he closed off? Like he's suddenly closed off. Maybe you were too, well, you're probably answering your question. You probably were. But I mean, what's too emotional? I mean, you're being you know? You need somebody who understands you as well. But that, I figure that's probably the answer is they didn't want to deal with the heaviness, you know? All right, so we're not together. All right, so I do see the Page of Swords, right? So let's see what's going on. We got the Two of Cups, right? And we got the World card. So it's not over. You're not together. It's not over, though. But there is something that pulls your Gemini towards you. So they answer you. They care, right? The thing is that you guys are not on the same page when it comes to relationship. You want to be together. They do not or are not ready for a relationship just yet. And that is why you get emotional, right? So they like communicating with you, but you guys may be just not on the same page yet when it comes to what's next. So you will reconnect again. You will talk again. This is showing me that the two of you will have another conversation. But it's being okay and finding, you know, peace with it. May not turn into a deep relationship right away. Your person, I just asked in my head, sorry I didn't say it out loud, but what, why did they pull away? I have the Knight of Swords. They have different goals right now. It looks like they're focusing on themselves. They're doing their own thing. Their intentions are to, keep things kind of lighthearted, have fun, but it does seem like they want to keep the conversation open between the two of you. And this is Gemini energy. They just don't know which direction they're going in life right now. And we have the Devil card. So you got kind of a player energy here. You've got kind of it'll appear like they're playing with you. So I want to do a little definition here of player. Some players are just players. They just are friggin' players. It's written right. They have a sign right on them that says player. And some people seem like they're playing us because we get them into our lives and we talk to them and we want more, and they'll come over, they'll hang out, but they have shown you and said and told you over and over that they don't want a commitment. But we get together and then all of a sudden they leave, and then we think they're playing us. But we're playing ourselves in that case. So we have to decide which side of the fence we're on. I mean, what's really true here. But I am seeing you're dealing with somebody who is non-committal right now. And it's not that they're not attracted to you. It's just they don't want a relationship just yet. And you have, there is karma here because you are very attached to them. I can see that you have deep feelings for them. And I can see that they like that. They love the feeling you give them. But that's not changing their course just yet. And also, this is somebody that does make irrational decisions at times. So they may have a wild life, a wild side. And so you're dealing with, it could even be a bad boy energy, you know what I mean? You're dealing with somebody that wants to come and go as they please. And you're wanting emotional security from somebody like this. I mean, this is where we got to just ask questions and look at the facts. If you want to reconnect and you want to keep them and talk to them and have fun with them, and you're accepting of who they are right now, this can, you'll see movement, but you've got to be okay with that. And if you're needing emotional security and security and emotional stability with this type of person, you may not get it. I'll pull one card right now to see if anything's going to change in the future. And I see the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups shows that you may move on from this. You might not see things change. Now, the future though, for me, and I'm going to explain this. This isn't I never go further than really 3 to 6 months in my head because we all have free will and we can decide anything can change at any time. So for me to tell you that nothing could happen from this would be a lie. I don't know. The cards are saying, though, the Eight of Cups, you're dealing with a runner and you may end up walking away from it, is what I'm seeing. So in the next 3 to 6 months, it may not stabilize. That does not mean that you will not reconnect, to answer your question, but it may not stabilize the way you want it to. All right. And I have the strength. You may need the strength to walk away right now and see what they do. The Devil card is showing up there too. There's just a really strong attachment there. All right. But this is my disclaimer. You've got to trust yourself. I'm just a messenger. I am just here I put a lot of love and emotion and I put a lot of intent into your readings, but I'm not walking your path and I don't know what kind of faith or manifesting power you have. I don't know. So you've got to always take the message, sit with it, and if it really truly feels right, then you already know the answer. But if you're like, no, this is going to change, don't let anybody take your power away. All right. I do have to move on, though. I hope that helped. All right. So I have a Jan. Is there a Jan? I don't know if you have a different handle. I don't have a question for you. It helped a lot. Okay, good. Listen to it again. Leela, listen to it again though to see if you pick up exactly like what I was saying. Because something I said may help you switch your thought process and you may be able to make something work of this. All right, that's my phone falling, guys. All right, so Jan, I have a Jan, but I don't know if you have a different screen name. So I am going to star you if you show up. But I'm going to go back. All right, I'm going to go back to PayPal. And I see Taja. Let me see. Is next. All right. So if Jan comes in, please let me know your screen name. And I'm going to move on to Taja and I'll come back. Susan, yes, you're on the list. There was a lot of people before you. All right. You're like 3 people away. You're 4 people away. There was another Susan that I must have did a reading for. But I see you coming up after I have Taja. And if Jan shows up, I have her. I don't know who she is. And then I have one more person, and then I have you. Because I think that's what happened. There was another Susan. Yeah. I know. I can't believe how many people showed up behind the scenes that came in. Fridays have been getting crazy like this. Don't forget, guys, I am on Monday. I may be on Tuesday this week, not Monday, though, because of Labor Day. We'll see. All right, Taja. Scorpio Venus. And you know it's Scorpio Moon right now. I'm going through my lunar return right now. I don't know if it's still Scorpio. It might be changing into... No, I think it's still Scorpio. Let's see. All right. So I'm going to answer the way you're writing the question. Number 1, does Capricorn D desire a romantic relationship with Libra cusp? So all right, let's see. Does Capricorn desire a romantic relationship with Libra cusp? I see the Chariot. All right, so it looks like they're focused on you. You know, I do have the 8 of Swords. There is some worry, maybe about how you feel or how Libra cusp feels. I see a strong Cancer energy showing up, though, water energy. But I am seeing, yes, Capricorn D does desire a romantic relationship, but they may have some doubts or fears, all right, about whether or not Libra cusp desires them. Okay, so there's somebody else. Okay, so I am seeing that they are focused on them, but I don't think Libra cusp is desiring them. So there's a the Libra cusp is not as interested as Capricorn. So there's a fear of rejection there. All right. They may like the attention, but I don't see it going anywhere. All right. So what is Pisces' intentions, feelings with you? I have intentions, 2 of Wands. And feelings, Queen of Swords. All right. So that's, yeah, if he lied, he lied. He doesn't want to admit that he was, or has any fears of rejection. All right. So Pisces intentions, the 2 of Wands, they still, believe it or not, your reads kind of flip-flop around, but it does come back to this. You're on their mind. That's Libra, Queen of Swords. And the 2 of Wands, I mean, they're torn. So there are moments they have where they're drifting off, thinking about you. Maybe wishing there was a different outcome. 3 of Pentacles, maybe even wishing that you guys would work it out. But it does seem like, they're stuck at a crossroads. They've got something else going on too. And it's like thoughts of you still cross their mind. They still care about you. And you know it. That's why it's driving you crazy. No, you know it. That's why it's driving you crazy. Because you're the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords doesn't have to feel it. That you just know it. But it's driving you crazy. Because there's somebody else that's getting in the way. And for some reason, they're comfortable. They're afraid to get out of the mistake they made. It's like, I got myself here. I'm here. And now, like I said, your Pisces seems like they're messing with both you and Gemini. I know that you don't like the Gemini, but I think that you and Gemini have a lot in common, because I think this Pisces has messed with both of you. And maybe sets it up so it looks like, like you feel like your reputation was being jeopardized, and it seems like that's what happens is the women in the Pisces life, your reputations get, jeopardized because they place the blame on you guys, you're being gaslit. And you guys, he gets away with it, is how I'm seeing it. Now, yeah, she's probably not the most pleasant person, and you probably don't like her and don't want to hang out with her. But she got reeled in just like you did. But it does look like he goes back and forth about thoughts about fixing this. All right. You are somebody that he was very comfortable with. You may have supported him in ways that she cannot. I mean, there's only one Taja. We know that. I know that. I've been on this channel for 5 years. I've never met another Taja. All right. So does Pisces see that it's disturbing that I had to cancel plans because I didn't want to see Big Gemini show up where you guys were? Does he even care? All right. 8 of Cups, 4 of Pentacles, and the Empress card. He's acting like he doesn't care, but he cares more than he's letting on. All right. It also could be a control thing too. it is disturbing because he sees how much control he has over you. It's his way maybe of seeing whether or not you still care. He has to know you're not moving on. He likes to know you're not moving on. Yeah. Well, it seems like she's jealous too. Because you always show up as the Queen of Swords. You have never shown up for me in your readings. I look at a lot of different things, and you are here all the time. You never show up as, well, the worst, and this isn't even worse. You show up because you get in your head. You overthink things. But you've never showed up as obsessing devil or anything like that. All right. You've never, shown up like somebody who's spiteful. So she may be jealous because if I'm with somebody, I know if my person is thinking about somebody, you can just sense that, she's got to be insecure in some way. And you're still there. Nobody wants to know somebody's ex is around the corner. You're always going to be a threat to her. She is never going to feel like she's the one because you're always around the corner. And your name comes up in everything. She can't get away from you. And you may not know, there could be something deeper that she, maybe she feels like you've done something to her in the past, and you might not even be like, I didn't do anything. You know how many people, there's people in my life, I don't even know what the hell I did. But somehow, you got to find a way or figure out a way to make me the villain. All right. Everybody who they need a villain. She did start it the wrong way. She did. And she knows it. And you're a reflection to how she did it. And so she's not going to want to admit she's wrong. So she's going to listen to me when I say this. You didn't do anything wrong. So in order for her not to look like the bad guy, she's got to make you look like you're the bad guy. So she's going to wait for you to step out of line at any given time so she can say, see? So it's like she will wait for the perfect thing that you do so that she cannot have to face anything she's done wrong. It's a tactic people use. They do not want to face, okay, yes, I'm not the perfect person everybody thinks I am. So I've got to wait for Taja to do something because I don't want to look like the person who broke up a family or broke up a relationship or went behind your back. All right. So it's going to be mind-boggling because you want justice. And you're not getting the justice that you deserve. You're not going to get the justice from somebody who is twisting the stories around and who also does not want to just sit down and have a decent conversation about it. You're not going to win this with her unless she'll sit down and have a conversation with you. And he does care. But can you imagine what he's dealing with also when it comes to the mind games with her? I mean, he probably goes around in cycles with her talking about everything to the point where he just believes, at some point you shut down and you're like, I can't do this again. And you do. You want justice. And, and I hope you get it. And I'm definitely sending love. I hope you get the justice you need. But some people are adamant about never wanting to face anything they did wrong. They want to look like they are innocent. And there's no human being on this planet who doesn't have a sin. Right? All right, Taja, you got me all worked up right there. Remember, we're going into, I got to keep reminding you guys, We're going into eclipse season, so you know that some shit's going to come up. No, Taja, you got to keep your Queen of Swords composure. You got to keep your Queen of Swords composure until you know when to strike. That's your Queen of Swords. You'll know when the right time is. Don't let somebody see you sweat. All right, I hope that helped. All right. Next. Love you, sending you love. DH. What can you expect next from Libra? Well, no, okay, I will say this because I'm moving on to DH's energy. So right now he had the Two of Wands. So Taja, the Two of Wands says he's on the fence. So right now he's at the crossroads. But the Two of Wands does say that you will either make plans to talk or you guys will see each other again. All right. But right now, no, he has to make a choice. He has to make an important choice of what he wants. And he's sitting on the fence. All right, what can I expect with my person doing? You're welcome. Thank you. All right, well, you got the Page of Pentacles here, so you can expect at least conversation to come in. The Strength card, the Hanged Man. It might take a minute. It looks like, you know, you got the Three of Wands. So it does look as though you're kind of in a waiting period. And I do see that they are attracted to you, so they're still going to connect with you. The Page of Pentacles here, message, communication. But it might not go anywhere, you know, so keep your options open is what I'm getting. You know, it's like they're still showing up. They might be silent. They may break the silence. But the Three of Wands is like, you know, I do want to see where things go. Maybe things will move. You'll see some progress. But it might be, you know, slow progress. And so I'm just seeing here that there is potential for growth here. But I still see that there is a possibility as well that it's slow growth and it might not go anywhere. All right. So I do see contact reaching out and maybe even connecting. It's just this guy here. This guy says you might be waiting and constantly waiting on this person. All right. You know, and I got the Queen of Pentacles. So really putting the focus on yourself and, you know, grounding in on your own self-worth as well. Act like you don't give a shit. They'll probably come in a lot quicker. Because it looks like, you know, they might, I mean, you got to remember who you are here. Because you're better than this. And you know it. So what to expect is conversation, communication coming in, and uncertainty about where this is going. All right. Let me know, DH. I know it took a minute. I don't think you're here anymore. All right, Susan, we made it. All right, we got Susan. All right, so you're looking at, we made it. Next 3 months with love. All right, so who or what's coming in love for the next 3 months? Let's see. Let's be specific, Spirit. Can you show me if there's any signs of people coming in, what to expect in the love department? We're just looking at love. So all cards are going to reflect what might be happening in love. All right, we see a Knight of Pentacles. So movement, cautious movement, predictable movement. We got the Sun card. All right, so there could be some romance, some dating, some fun, and some flirting. You got Leo energy. I do see 5 of Pentacles, so you could be still struggling with somebody, still feeling rejected by somebody. It could be 2 different people here. I'm just pulling each card to see what could be happening in love in the next 3 months. So you may occasionally be thinking about somebody and still feel like you're struggling with the situation. I have the 2 of Wands. You may have a choice. You may have options. There could be somebody new coming into your life, and you may be deciding to see what's out there, or date or talk to somebody, you know. And then we have an Earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So this is saying you might be waiting on somebody and they're constantly, you know, maybe struggling. You're struggling with the pace of it. And it's saying Temperance card underneath that. So, you know, the person that you're kind of talking to that keeps doing this to you is going to pop back in. That is without, I mean, that is just showing up here. But will you guys reach some sort of crossroads? Will you guys decide to go down a different path? Yeah, it could be. That person is not out of the picture because you still have a strong attachment to them. Whether it goes somewhere or not, that's the 5 of Pentacles. It looks very doubtful. It's like, you know, there's still a problem there. There's something that you struggle with this person. Now, but there still is opportunity with that Sun card to make some sort of growth or get some truth or make progress. So there is. I can't say there isn't. But there's also an opportunity here for you to connect with new romance as well. And this is if you're willing to get it. All these cards here is you have control of this. If you're willing to get out of your comfort zone and take action, I do see some flirting maybe with a fire sign. Page of Wands. Aries, Leo, Sag. I know. Sometimes you never know. You never know what lights fire up somebody's ass or what lights fire up your ass. You know, maybe you are done. Maybe as soon as you meet somebody new, you'll be done with this ex. Boom. But maybe not. Maybe you meet somebody new and your person's like, where did Susan go? Oh, wait a minute. I think I might lose her. Maybe I better get my act together. So it can go either way. But sometimes when we can't get out of a stuck energy, we got to get out there and we have to fuel our life source. We have to find our joy again. We have to be happy, because that's how we attract, is when we're happy and glowing. We don't attract when we're sad or we attract people that are in the same state. So you never know what's going to happen here, but it does look like you have potential for a date, getting to know somebody, talking to somebody, new romance. fire sign. I'm sending you love, and I hope it happens. All right. All right, so I finished the PayPal. I still have Jan. I don't know who that is. And I also see Frank there. And so let me do Devin, and then I have Frank. All right. Devin with a Capricorn, questioning his intentions. All right, so we're looking at Capricorn's intentions. All right, so let's see what I pull. All right, Capricorn's intentions. It's a new relationship, Capricorn's intentions. All right. Two of Pentacles, not a bad start. Seven of Cups, and the Wheel of Fortune. All right, so this is what I've got. It's clear. All right, things are kind of up in the air right now. There could be other people they're talking to still. It does not mean that they're not invested in this connection. They definitely have you on their mind. They're looking at the possibilities. So it's really hard to tell right now because things are so up in the air. It's new, and it looks like you guys are just kind of, seeing where things go. The Wheel of Fortune is saying things are just turning so much. Things are changing constantly, and try not to fixate on any negative, especially if you've had some negative experiences in the past. You might assume this person is not interested. But if it's very new, this person may be thinking about you and just saying, hey, I need you to work with me. They might not be, you might have different personalities, or they might not always be on time for you or text when you want to. And you may immediately think something's wrong, but it doesn't look like it. It looks like this person really wants to get to know you. But you're at the early stages, and it seems like things, are changing so much here that it's really there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of things that need to happen. There's a lot of feelings to explore. It looks like your person is trying to or wants to and really wants to see where things go. So this is saying slow down, take it day by day. And the Wheel of Fortune is also showing that things are constantly changing. And so be flexible with, like, if a date doesn't follow through or they don't text on time, hold out before you respond to see if there was something else happening. Because we can sabotage a situation by being overly concerned or worried because of a past breakup. But it looks like they have genuine intentions to just see where things go. It's just right now it may be too soon. Things are still kind of in getting to know or questioning or, kind of thinking about the possibilities here. All right. All right, so I don't know if I answered Jan. I guess I did. Maybe. If not, please let me know. Were you under another name that I already answered? Will you see your Scorpio? Knight of Swords swinging by. All right, there's potential. Queen of Wands and the Two of Swords. All right, so you could try to make plans. You may meet up. They may swing by. You may talk to them. But I am seeing, though, that there's a little bit of confusion that's happening. So there could be plans and plans don't get followed. You don't follow through with them. Or you talk about meeting up, but it's like 50-50. You got the twos here. All right. And the Ten of Swords and the Page of Cups again. So there definitely could be conversation or swinging through, potentially talking, communicating. But it is showing up for you right now as 50-50. Like there's a 50-50 chance here. It may seem like it's going one way, but then the Ten of Swords says it might not. But I am seeing communication. So you'll definitely be communicating with this person. All right. And if you do see them, it's going to be quick. It might be like a drive-by. All right. I love you. If I missed anybody, please let me know. Jan, if I got you, because that was a long time ago, please let me know. If not, I will refund you. But please let me know if you do come in looking for this. Because a few of you came under different names and I've been calling you out for a while. Nobody's been coming back. So please let me know. If not, I will get you on Monday or I can refund you. So just let me know. All right. I love you guys. I'm going to let you go and sign off before anybody else comes in. Take care.